Media content can be conceptualized in many different ways due to the fact of varying mediums in today's culture. YouTube is a medium where people can experience video content much differently than something that they view on TV. With YouTube, there is a more personalized presence, and the viewers feel like they are a part of what they are watching. Joshua Meyerowitz, a highly accredited scholar of this field, discusses three different forms to help people become more media literate. He describes these media forms as conduits, language, and environment. The area of media literacy that I will be primarily focusing on is media as language. This method is otherwise known as media grammar literacy, which reveals the aesthetics found in media content. The focus of the media grammar approach can be framed around paraproxemics and parasocial impressions. Edward Hall's theory of proxemics suggests a possible relationship between perception of interpersonal distance and the framing variable. The term proxemics refers to a person's spatial behavior patterns. A paraproxemic relationship deals with portrayed distance, mediated distance, and objective and subjective shots of characters. In terms of applying the components of paraproxemics to a concrete example within YouTube, I think DevinSuperTramp's content fits very well. DevinSuperTramp is an extremely popular American videographer who produces adventure and extreme sports videos on YouTube. He also has a separate channel that is more personal and less professional, where he speaks to his followers and educates them on cinematography tips and tools. As one could imagine, being more media grammar literate is especially useful when talking about this YouTube star. When we examine viewer perception of characters in regards to Devin Graham, it is good to look at multiple videos on his more personal channel to analyze the media grammar variables that Joshua Meyerowitz talks about. A particular video example I would like to bring up is one of Devin's vlogs, which is not something he typically does.
Testing. The struggle is real. Alright, so this is a vlog. I'm not a vlogger by any means, but that's the way the future, the next generation of filmmakers is you guys as you vlog, communicate to the world. So, you've been requesting it, we're gonna start doing it, so I wanna know what you want to see. Do you wanna see The Office? Here you go.
In this video, Devin sets up his camera on the desk of his office. As most YouTube videos are shot, Devin is talking to us with the camera positioned as a medium close-up shot. This falls into Hall's personal relationship spatial zone between the producer and the viewer. Devin is also sitting in a chair leaning into the camera. As Hall's theory explains, in a particular shot, therefore, the way in which a person is framed may suggest an interpersonal distance between the person and the viewer. Through the portrayed distance and the position of the character being watched, the viewer identifies a personal connection where Devin seems to be talking directly to his viewers, making them feel a part of the video. Devin Graham's motto and the motivation for his entire film career is "The world through my eyes." He takes pride in this quote in all of his video productions so a viewer can really get a sense of his passion. With this quote in mind, the concept of subjective shots can be applied. A subjective shot assumes the point of view of one of the characters, and it shows the viewer what one person within the action sees. A particular video that demonstrates this well is one that gives us a full virtual experience of the astonishing country Guatemala. Many of DevinSuperTramp's videos are shots and sequences of some of the world's most breathtaking locations. These videos are professionally produced so that the viewers get the sense that they have actually traveled and experienced the location's culture themselves. This experience is leveraged through the use of subjective shots. In this audiovisual sequence, the audience experiences a first-person camera view of some of the country's famous landscapes. For example, the beginning presents a sequence of a moving camera sweeping across the vibrant grass where it meets with a historic ancient structure. This segment is absolutely amazing, especially because many people probably haven't been to this exact location, although after watching this they feel like they have. Throughout the entire video there are multiple examples of subjective shots like this. The production of this video is also classified as professional through the production variables of camera angles, video resolution, audio, video editing, and film movement. To touch upon one of those variables, we can analyze camera angles. Looking back at the same sequence that was mentioned before, the camera is positioned at a low angle when observing the ancient ruins. As Meyerowitz discusses, this angle suggests power and authority of what is being filmed. In this case, we see a temple from a lower point, where it is presented to be a symbol of power. The viewer identifies the structure as larger than life and symbolizes dominance. Furthermore, the placement of the sun is no mistake. The camera is positioned intentionally so the sun beams down on the structure in order to emphasize the focal point of the shot. Management of parasocial impressions is also a key component to a producer's content. Irving Goffman suggests people are constantly mobilizing their energies to create socially meaningful impressions. This is extremely important in the world of YouTube and the stars that come with it. Regarding Devin Graham, this goes back to his more personal channel that is not as professional. For this concept, a good example from his channel is one that was produced recently where he is educating his viewers in a video tutorial on camera angles.
So today we're going to talk about camera angles. This is a good one, especially for beginner filmmakers and anyone that wants to make their imagery as visual and unique as possible. So us as human beings, and I'm imagining it's mostly humans that are watching this, us as humans, we're constantly seeing. We're constantly seeing about the height of humans. So whenever I approach anything that I'm doing, I'm like, well, this is the typical angle that anyone's gonna shoot in. So what can I do to make this location unique and something no one's seen before? So every time I approach a project, I always ask myself that question.
This video is shot in an office where it looks like much of Devin's backstage work occurs. Overall, the setting is professional with organized high-end equipment placed in the background. He also has some small action figures and pictures to possibly represent some of his personal interests. This setting seems to reflect his performance correctly since his projects are produced so well. Another element of parasocial impressions proposed by Goffman is the personal front, which deals with the appearance and manner of the performer. In this video, Devin greets us by popping up from below and is very happy and excited to speak to the viewers. He presents himself much like a teacher would when coming into a classroom. This is great because Devin makes these videos to educate his followers. He holds a high energy and is dressed casually to represent a more authentic and backstage experience. This high energy really helps to keep the audience engaged throughout the entire video because, after all, he is just talking and that can sometimes lose the attention of an audience. It is interesting how Devin Graham sets up his entire YouTube profile because he has a channel for front region behavior and one for back region behavior. This is a great method for him to utilize because people can see a balance between him as a person and him as a professional. This is all imperative to being successful on YouTube.